Hello guys, my name is Vipul. Welcome to our new video. In this video, we are going to see that how to load a different data set into the Python so that we can use it for machine learning purposes. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. In our last video, we have seen that how to install Anaconda Navigator into Windows 7, and also I am demonstrated that how to create a new virtual environment into Anaconda Navigator and run a Jupyter notebook inside that environment. If you haven't seen that video, please guys go and check it out. I have put a link into the description below. So now guys, let's go to our directory. So let's open command prompt from here and cmd. So type conda activate our environment test. So press enter and wait for some time. So now our environment was activated. So now we type Jupyter notebook. So press enter. Just press a control button and it shows that when you press control plus click, just press control and click, it will open this. So now when page load, just wait for some. We start command from this directory, so it's gonna show all the files from this directory. Okay, so now we open this file. I'm gonna close this window. I open already Jupyter notebook. Okay, in this video we are gonna see how to load a pre-existing data, how to create a simulated data, then generating a regression problem data, generating classification problem data, and generating clustering problem data. And then we are gonna visualize the clustering problem data, and then we are gonna see how to load a CSV file or Excel file into a Python notebook, and then we are gonna see how to load a JSON file into Python. So now we are going to see how to load a pre-existing data. So to load a data set which was built in or pre-provided by SQL, this kind of data set we call generally as a pre-existing data. So how we can load it, how we can access it. So now we are going to see. For that we have to call a module or call module from sklearn library. So for that type from sklearn import dataset, and now we are gonna load a handwritten digits dataset. So for that we are gonna say dataset dot load digits, and we are gonna assign this or whatever return value we are gonna get. So we are gonna assign it to digits variable, and then we are gonna print its description, and then its feature means its data, training data, and we are gonna take a training levels or data labels. We can say instead of training level we can say data labels, and this one was. So now we are gonna assign a data or or training data to the features variable, and the training levels to the target variable. So we are here, we are gonna print a first row or a first example or first image from the training dataset or a loaded dataset. So now we are here, we printed a training, or here we printed a first features. So here we just printed in the form of array, but in future videos we are gonna print in terms of, or we are gonna plot or show in terms of image. So For now, we are just printed in terms of ND array. That means NumPy array. So basically, in this tutorial, we are gonna use a SQL provided dataset because they all are clean and easy to use and simple to load and very easy to experiment with this kind of dataset for learning purposes. So to this dataset, from SQL, not only just a low digit, that is handwritten digits dataset. SQL also provides a different type of dataset like load Boston, Irish dataset, and digit dataset like or fashion immunity dataset. That kind of dataset are provided by SQL and which are very easy to use and very easy to load. So now we are gonna see how to create a simulated dataset. So in this step, we are going to learn about how we can generate a data set of simulated data. So there are different types of data set. So we are going to see regression problem data set, that means continuous value. Consider a sine wave, cos wave. Okay, sine wave, cos wave data are continuous data. That means we can say it as a regression problem data set. Okay. So we can say it as a regression problem dataset, and for classification problem we can say CAT, or object classification we can say that cat and dog classification means identify which image is of cat and which image is of dog. This kind of classification we can say it as a classification task, or this kind of task we can say it as a classification task. Or for clustering we can say uh, different clusters of data points, and this kind of task we can say it as a clustering task. So this kind of how we can generate this kind of data set. For now, we are gonna see how to generate a regression problem data set. For that, import a module from sklearn.dataset, import make regression. This function will generate a regression problem data set. So this function, for this function we have to pass a number of samples, means number of samples we required, and number of features means this number of feature columns we required, and an information equal to an informative equal to 3, and number of targets. So we are gonna need only one continuous value here. For this whole row we are gonna get just a single value. For this row we are gonna get this single value, and for this row this one is a target value. It means that this one was a training data and it's a testing its level. This one was a training level. No, this one was a training data and this one was a training level. So also this one was a training data and this one was a training level. Likewise. So here we are gonna print first 3 rows of training or features, and here we are gonna print first 3 rows of target vectors. So see here, this one was first feature matrix. This one was the second feature matrix, and this one was the third feature matrix. So first feature matrix, first training level, second feature matrix, second training level. So and this one was the third training matrix, third target level. Okay, for generating a classification problem dataset, we are gonna import from sklearn.dataset import make classification. This function will generate a classification data. For that we have to again pass a number of samples to 100. So then it will generate number of features to 3, and informative to 3, and redundant to 0, and number of classes. Here we just want the output in terms of, or labels in terms of zeros and 1. So basically this one was a binary classification problem because our output or class level varies in just two values, or we can say it as a 0 and so that's why we can say it as an binary classification problem. So here we are gonna initialize a weight 0.25 and 0.75, and we are gonna set random state to 42 because we just want to generate repeatedly same data set. Because of random state we can generate repeatedly same data set after executing a number of times this function, and this this parameter is very useful in terms of training or testing. Because of setting random state to some fixed value, we will get a same data set each time, and our training training and validation accuracy remains same or remains constant throughout the execution, throughout the number of times of execution. So now we are going to generate a clustering problem dataset. So for that we are going to import from sklearn dataset and import make blocks. Okay, so make blocks function also takes a number of samples. So we need hundreds different samples. Number of features, we need two features and center. So we are gonna need three different. So we are gonna create three different centers. So see here, this one was the first center, second center, and this one was the third center. Okay, approximately. So here for this problem we are gonna take three center. So cluster standardization is set to 0.5, shuffle is equal to true, and again we are gonna set random state to 42 for repeatedly generating the same data. Here we are gonna print first three rows of feature matrix and first three rows of target matrix, target vector. So here this one was first row of feature matrix and this one was the first level of this matrix. This one was the first row of feature matrix and its target level. This one was second row of feature matrix and its target level, and this one was the third row of this feature matrix and its target level is 0. So now we are gonna visualize this data, this plotted data, these features values in terms of clustering. So now we are gonna import for plotting data. We generally use matplotlib. Any kind of plotting is possible using matplotlib, and this one was a very basic library for plotting. So now we are going to import matplotlib as plt. So here we are going to use plt as alias. Okay, it's Python concept alias. So if you don't know, go search on Google. So now we are gonna plt.scatter. So now here we are gonna say that features all the rows and first column, all the row and zeroth column. Sorry, all the here in plt.scatter we are gonna say features for x level, x axis, y axis, and this is the C map. This one was we are here we are gonna iterate from all the rows, and we are gonna select a zeroth column. Okay, this one was a zero column, and this one was the first column. Okay, so y-axis we are gonna iterate to all the rows, and we are going to select a first column, means these values. So all these values are plotted on y-axis and all these values are plotted on x-axis. So CMap is for choosing a color, different color for different targets. Okay, so basically we have 0, 1 and 2. 0, 1 and 2. These targets are, we have this number of target because we set centers to 3, and see here only 3 targets we have, that's why only 3 clusters are made. So moving ahead, now we are going to see how to load a CSV file. See guys, CSV file means comma separated files. Okay, so now for that we are going to use a pandas library. Pandas is a very basic library for data wrangling. And to install a pandas, if you haven't installed a pandas, type copy this command and take a new cell. So I'm gonna press, see here, when this left hand side bar gets green, now it is a green, and when it gets a blue, type on this on your keyboard, type B. So insert, it will insert a new empty cell this below this block. So now we have to call, we are gonna copy and paste this command into new cell and press Control plus Enter and wait for some time. It will install pandas into your environment from Jupyter Notebook. So see guys, you don't need to go every time for command prompt or anything like that. You can install or give a bash command from here. Uh, you have to just put this exclamatory mark before writing any command. So now we are going to import pandas as PD. So here I declared a CSV file path. Remember guys, remember to put this R before passing any path, before declaring any path in your system. Make sure that you put this R for reading, and I'm going to assign this path to path variable, and now I'm going to read pd dot read csv, and gonna mention this path, and it will, this function will return a data frame. So data frame, it is very similar to Excel sheet, and I'm going to print first 10 rows of this data frame. So head command will print first 10 rows. By default, it will print, if you don't pass here anything, it will print first 5 rows. So see now, so it's running. So see guys, by default, head will print first 5 rows 0, 1, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this one was a 5, and if we mention here 10, so first 10 rows will be printed. Here guys, 0 to 9, it means that 10 rows have been printed over here. So for print for printing last 5 rows, we can say that data frame dot tell data frame dot tell command will print last 5 rows of the data frame. If you want to see a more number of rows, you can just mention over 10 here and press Ctrl plus Enter, and then it is gonna print a last 10 rows, sorry, last 10 rows. So now we are gonna see how to load an Excel file. For that we are again gonna use a pandas library for that. So now I'm gonna mention the Excel file sheet path. So my Excel file sheet contains in F dataset air quality and air quality UCI XLS. XLS is for Excel sheet extension. Okay, so I'm gonna assign this part to the path variable, and see guys, I am put it R before this string or this path, so that system by default or system will know that we have to read this path. Okay, if you don't put, sometimes it will return or sometimes it will give you some error in term when reading some path or some reading some file from directory. So at that time, remember to put R before you want to read something or write something. Okay, for writing you have to just put a W for reading. Okay, so now for reading the Excel sheet, we are going to say that PD read Excel, and we are going to mention this path over here, and again assigning this all this data to the data frame, and again I'm gonna print first 10 rows of data set. And by default, if you remove this 10, it will print a first 5 rows by default. Here guys, from 0 to 9, okay, 10 rows. So now we are gonna see how to load JSON file. Okay, so to load a JSON file, the pandas library provide a read JSON method to convert JSON file into pandas object. Okay, so now I'm gonna here. So now to load a JSON file into Python, for that we are gonna again use a pandas library's read JSON method to convert a JSON file into panda object. Okay, for that I'm gonna just mention a path. So I have specified a path to the my file, and I'm gonna read it as, so I'm gonna put r before mentioning a path, and then I'm gonna pass this path variable over here. And so now I'm gonna use pd.readJSON and passing this path variable and setting orient to the columns and printing a first 5 rows of the dataset, JSON dataset. So here are the first 5 rows of the JSON file. So guys, that's it for this video. In our next video we are gonna see how to load a data from SQL server, how to load a data from databases, various kind of databases, how to load a file from Google Drive, and how we can load a file from some server, or we can fetch it into our system. And then we are gonna see how to zip or unzip file in Python. So for now, goodbye guys, and take care. So if you like this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to press a bell icon button so that you get notified for every new video. So goodbye guys.